So we have these 4 different types of t-shirts. I'm going to use letters B for blue, G for green, R for red, Y for yellow. And the condition they give us that the store sells twice as many blue t-shirts as it does green t-shirts. So that's the first translation. Question is B greater than R? So I'll start with statement 1. The store sold fewer blue t-shirts than red t-shirts and green t-shirts combined. So B is less than R plus G. Now my interest is to compare B and R, so what I'm going to do is to eliminate G and substitute that here and play with that inequality. Always do that, meaning whatever the variables are of interest, always focus on that. And then I subtract. I mean, there are other ways to do it as well, but this I find is the easiest in terms of stress on my brain. So that's the condition we have. This is the question. You can kind of use the number line, which often I use, which is if this is R and this is 2R, they're both positive numbers. We're told that B is less than 2R. That's our statement. So B could be any value here. Question is B greater than R? Well, if it falls here, then it's yes, but if it falls here, that's a no. So we have a yes and a no. One alone is insufficient. So if we look at statement 2, says the store sold more blue t-shirts than half the total number of red t-shirts and yellow t-shirts combined. So B is greater than half of R plus Y. You can also write it as half R plus half Y. And there's no information on Y, but again, I'm going to try to create a yes and a no. So I'll pick some values. R is 8, Y is 2. Then this inequality becomes B is greater than 4 plus 1, or B is greater than 5. Now, if B is 6, that answers that question as a no, because R is 8. 6 would be less than 8. But if B was 10, that becomes greater than 8, and that would answer that question as a yes. So we have a yes and a no. 2 alone is insufficient. If we combine 1 and 2, and so I'm going to bring that. B is less than 2R. So R, again, I'm going to use the same value here. B is less than 16. That's all this first statement brings as far as constraint is concerned. And I can still use these 2 examples because they satisfy statement 2, but also satisfy the statement 1, because that only says B needs to be less than 16, which both of these examples are. So my yes and a no still work. So even when I combine the 2 statements, it's insufficient. The answer is E.